a Muslim was driving in a car, ran over a person he saw on the street or on the curb or wherever, and said the reason I did that was because that was a Christian, that was a white person, every news channel in America would be targeting that particular person. They'll be trying to find out everything about that person's life and telling Americans how vicious this terrorist was. Now, we have a story that occurred earlier this month, but it was just reported on the 19th, where a woman, Nicole Franklin, age 42, ran over Natalia Miranda, a 14-year-old Latina, and when asked by the police officers when they found her, why did you run over this little kid? And her answer was simply because the kid was a Mexican. Now, what does that sound like if it's not what we've started calling by name the Trump effect? People would never think that it was okay, even if they wanted to do these things, even if they did these things. They never felt it vogue to go out and say, the reason I did that was because it was a Mexican. They would say, oh, it was an accident or whatever. But Trump has changed the psyche of America. He has changed the psyche where what used to be completely off base is now kind of, okay, it's okay now. Folks, if you doubt that, please do remember, earlier during his campaign, this is what he said: Trump may pay legal fees of man who sucker punched a protester. That was out of his mouth. That changes the psyche of people. When the head of your country is the one who's promoting this type of evil, it makes sense. But you know what I was glad about? There was an interview done on KCCI, and what happened is Joe Henry, the leader LULAC, he came out and called it by name.
FBI data released in November showed a 14% spike in hate crimes against Latinos nationwide. Henry says what happened in Clive is just another example of how his community's been targeted. He doesn't shy away from saying what he thinks is behind it.
This is the Trump effect. This is what was happening before when he was running as president, and of course since then.
Henry says it's time for local, state, and national leaders to take a stand.
And yes, they should. And not only local leaders, but the news media, who usually demonizes Muslims when they do certain things, demonizes black folk when they do certain things, demonizes Latinos when they do something, need to make sure and be fair in the way we cover issues. Media coverage has a way of modifying people's psyche. This is nothing more than the Trump effect in action one more time.